All right, so if you've been dealing with chronic gut issues, mast cell activation syndrome, or just these persistent symptoms that won't let up, you've probably tried a lot of things. But what if a crucial piece of the puzzle is written right into your body's own instruction manual? That's exactly why today we're going back to basics. We're going to build a really simple foundation in genetics so you can start to understand how your unique blueprint influences your health. Let's get into it. So let's just jump right in with the big question. Are your genes the secret to your gut problems? I mean, for so many of us who are searching for answers, it feels like we're missing something fundamental, right? And listen, while genetics aren't the whole story, they are an incredibly powerful place to start understanding why your body might be struggling in the first place. Okay, so to make sure all the gut-specific stuff really clicks later on, we have to start with the absolute basics. Let's build that foundation together, right now. So, I want you to think of your genes as the complete instruction manual for your body. Seriously, this manual has all the directions for building everything, from your hair color all the way to the tiny enzymes that digest your food. And you know what? For the most part, every single human has pretty much the same instruction manual.
But here's where it gets personal. We all have these tiny, really common variations in our manuals called SNPs. Now that's a mouthful. It stands for single nucleotide polymorphism. But all you have to do is think of a SNP as a single letter typo on a page. It doesn't change the whole book, not even close, but it can slightly alter one specific instruction. These little SNPs are what make each and every one of us genetically unique.
And this, right here, is the key takeaway. A SNP isn't a broken gene. It's much more like a volume dial. It can turn a process up, making it run faster, or it can turn it down, making it run slower. The basic instruction is the same for everybody, but your personal SNPs are what fine-tune the speed and the efficiency of that instruction. Okay, so we've got our instruction manual and we've got our unique dials. Now, let's actually connect the dots and see how these simple genetic concepts can directly influence your gut, your immune system, and all those symptoms you might be feeling day to day. So where do these genetic dials have the biggest impact? Well, right here. Variations in your genes can totally influence how well you absorb nutrients, the integrity of your gut lining, you've probably heard of leaky gut, how efficiently you clear out toxins, your baseline level of inflammation, and even how well you break down histamine. Every single one of these is a critical pathway when it comes to chronic symptoms. Let's just take detoxification for a second. It's a perfect example. Your body has this brilliant two-step system. In phase 1, enzymes get toxins ready to be removed. But this process creates some volatile reactive stuff, and that's where phase 2 comes in. It swoops in, quickly packages up those reactive byproducts, and gets them out of your body safely. Now, genetic SNPs can affect the speed of either phase. You might have a super fast phase 1 that's creating junk way too quickly for phase 2 to handle, or maybe you have a slow phase 2 that just lets everything get backed up. Either way, you've got problems. And this just shows so well how specific genes play a role. We don't need to get lost in all the technical details, but just look at these examples. Variations in a gene called MYO9B are linked to regulating the gut barrier. The CARD15 gene helps your gut sense bacteria. And CYP1A2, which we just mentioned, is a key player in that first phase of detox. Just small dial adjustments in any of these can have a really big ripple effect. Okay, this brings us to what I think is the most important part of this whole explainer. Because after hearing all this, it's so easy to think, oh great, I'm just stuck with the genes I have. But that is absolutely not the case. Your blueprint is just the starting point. I really want you to take this in. There's a famous saying in genetics, genes load the gun, but the environment pulls the trigger. It's so true. Your genes might give you a predisposition, a tendency for a pathway to run a bit slow or a bit fast, but they are not a life sentence. Your daily choices, your diet, your lifestyle, that's what pulls the trigger. It all comes down to this really simple but profound formula. Your genetic tendencies plus an environmental trigger often equals symptoms. Think about it. You might have a gene that makes you slow at breaking down histamine, and you feel totally fine your whole life until you move into a moldy apartment or go through a period of intense stress. That's the trigger. And what are those triggers? Well, they're things we encounter all the time. Chronic stress, the food we're eating, maybe a hidden infection or environmental toxins like mold, mycotoxins, or heavy metals. Any of these can be the thing that turns on a genetic predisposition and pushes your body from feeling balanced into feeling symptomatic. Okay, now let's make this super practical. How does all this stuff look when you actually get a genetic report in your hands? In this last section, we'll take a quick first look at how to start interpreting these variations. You know, you might have done a test like 23andMe or Ancestry just for fun, but that raw data actually contains clues about these very pathways we're talking about. The question is, what are you even looking at? So in a report, you'll often see your SNPs described as slow or fast. A slow variant basically means that specific enzyme works a little less efficiently. This can cause a backlog, kind of like a traffic jam on the highway. On the flip side, a fast or ultra-rapid variant means that enzyme is in total overdrive. Now that might sound good, but like we saw with detox, a hyperactive phase 1 can create more reactive molecules than phase 2 can clear, leading to its own kind of damage. So you see, neither is inherently good or bad, they just give you information. And that's the ultimate point here. This isn't about getting a scary diagnosis. It's about getting a personalized roadmap. Knowing where your genetic dials are set allows you to give targeted support where your body needs it most. If a pathway is slow, you can learn how to help it along. If it's too fast, you can learn how to help the next step in the process keep up. It's all about working with your body, not against it.
So, we end here. Knowing your genetics isn't about seeing your limitations. It's about finally understanding your foundation. It gives you the power to make informed choices about your diet, your lifestyle, and your environment to support your unique physiology. You have the blueprint. The real question is, what will you choose to build with it?